It's okay. Good. Good. So I think I'll write one problem. So let's take a reaction. Let's say A plus B gives C. So assume, let's say, Ellie Riddle mechanism. Assume, let's say, Ellie Riddle mechanism. So basically, what is the question is? So derive the kinetics if reaction is controlled. So derive the kinetics if reaction is controlled. So what is the mechanism is A sits on the surface, B in the gas phase, form C, which is also in the surface. So this is going to be a lengthy derivation. I'll give 5 minutes time so that you will. Yesterday we have already solved when, let's say, LH mechanism is there. So when Ellie Riddle mechanism is there, I have to tell you which components are in the gas phase, which components are in the surface. Suppose if I don't mention this mechanism which is here, let's say if I don't mention this mechanism, then you cannot solve this problem because there are multiple types are possible. No, A can sit on the surface, B can in the gas phase, form C which is in the gas phase also. B can sit on the surface, A in the gas phase, form C which is on the surface. Similarly, B can sit on the surface, A in the gas phase, form C which is still on the gas phase. So as I said earlier, we are going to the, let's say, end of the CRE. I think today we'll complete chapter 5. we will start non-isothermal reactors. I think tomorrow we will complete the non-isothermal reactors also. So basically with that syllabus is completed, but there is one topic, new topic which is added in this year, which is kinetics of enzymatic reactions. That will be one more class. So clear? So catalytic deactivation is something which is related to this one. Maybe that is a theory class. It doesn't take, let's say, more than 10-15 minutes. I will tell you what are the mechanisms of catalyst deactivation, something like that. So not very, these are the two new topics which are added in this year. If you compare, let's say 2020 gate, 2021 gate, there are two topics which are added. So that two topics doesn't take more than one class. So basically 3 or 4 classes from now. Ideally 2 classes sufficient. Maybe tomorrow non-isothermal reactors, day after tomorrow, rest of the new topics. With that one we'll complete. So I'm getting requests, let's say 1 or 2 classes for solving more number of problems. I have already solved enough problems, but I'll try to take 1 or 2 classes to solve more number of problems. So what is my suggestion is read CRE, the entire subject, and tell me if you have any doubts. Because once we move to the other subjects, then you lost the interest in the subject, you lost the tempo on the subject. So something that is something like that. So this is a big derivation. So I'm giving, let's say 5 minutes time so that so if everybody done the derivation, then just let me know, completed, because it is difficult to put that expression in the charts. So that if at least 10-15 people could able to solve, then I will solve on the board. 2 replies that they have solved. So how do you write the mechanism? A plus S gives A dot S Similarly, B plus S gives B dot S. Is it right or wrong? So A plus S gives A dot S. A dot S plus B gives C dot S, C dot S gives C plus S. Which one is rate controlling? This is your rate controlling. Then what happens? Rest of the two steps will be reversible. Now, for the reversible, what you can write? Take this equation, you can write, let's say, CAS is equal to KA, PA, CS. You don't need to write, let's say, all the equations again. Since we have already written, you can directly write. From this one, what you can write? CCAS is equal to KC, PC, CS. So these are something which you can write directly. Then, what is my rate? Overall is nothing but rate of, let's assume rate constant K. So this is K into CAS into PV. This is what is your rate equation of CAS into PV. B is in gas phase, so partial pressure of P. So what is CAS? My rate overall is equal to K into what is CAS? KA, PA, CS into PV. K into KA, PA, PP, CS. And what is CS? How do you write CS? Let's write the side balance here. So what is side balance? CT is equal to, so what is side balance? CT is equal to, site is occupied by A, C and then empty sites. So what is side balance? You can write is CT divided by 1 plus KA PA plus KC PC. So if we substitute CS here, K equal to PA PB CT by KC PC. This is what is my rate overall. Now, these are constants. Constants can be combined into one thing, K into PA PB by PC. This is what is rate overall. Everybody done? Then what is rate at time t equal to 0? Suppose if somebody asks what is rate at time t equal to 0, then k into PA naught PB naught by. Initially there is no C formation, no Ka into PA naught. So this is what is PA naught? Partial pressure of A. What is PB naught? Partial pressure of B. Now if I want to, which is nothing but let's say mole fraction of A into total pressure, mole fraction of B into total pressure. PT. So all these are constant, no mole fractions. It can be 0.5, it can be something, but they are because you are using a fixed gas composition. No, all these are constants, which is APT square divided by 1 plus BPT. This is what is rate, initial rate. Right, next problem. Right, next problem. Done, everybody? Because somebody is asking why in the rate expressions, let's say CA, CB, you are not writing PA, PBs. What is concentration of A? Concentration of A is nothing but PA by RT only, no? So generally, when you have a gas phase, it is convenient to write the partial pressure, which is nothing but your CA only. So doesn't matter. So write this problem. For a vapor phase catalytic reaction, next problem. For a vapor phase catalytic reaction, A plus P gives P, A plus P gives P, which follows Riddle mechanism, the reaction step is controlling. Which follows Riddle mechanism, the reaction step is controlling. The rate of reaction is given by, the rate of reaction is given by, the rate of reaction is given by, brackets, reaction step is irreversible, brackets, reaction step is irreversible, and product also adsorbs, comma, product also adsorbs. So this is the reaction step is controlling. That is what is given. What you need to find out is rate expression. So somebody may ask a question, sir, we have already solved this type of question. No, why you have given the similar question? But there is a catch here that I want you to find out. So I'll repeat the question. For a vapor phase catalytic reaction, A plus B gives P, which follows the Riedel mechanism, and the reaction step is rate control. The rate of reaction is given by reaction step is irreversible and product also absorbs. Can you solve this question or not is my question. Biggest, let's say. So here what is given is on the surface product will also be there. Is there any mention about which one is on the surface? A and B both cannot be in gas phase and forms P. No, that is not possible. That is violates the. So then you have two laws, either this one or let's say this one. But A, B both cannot be on the surface, because if A, B both are on the surface, then it becomes LH mechanism, not let's say Riedel mechanism. Now mechanism is not clear here. Do you agree or not? Do you agree or not? So basically, mechanism is not clear. Then how do you solve this question? Do you agree mechanism is not clear? Then how do you solve? How to solve? This is a great question now. Just think about 1 minute. LH mechanism now. That is where you have to look at the options. What are the options given? Let's see. So I'll write all the options here. First option, minus RA equal to this is one option. What is another option is So these are the options. Look at the options. Look the denominator. What this denominator says. So I told you yesterday one rule. This denominator says A, B, C on the surface. If all are on the surface, then this cannot be answer, no? Then look at here, A on surface. Why this answer is right? Because this is also right, because question says product also on the surface. Then look at these two mechanisms. These two mechanisms are suggesting, or these two rate expressions suggesting A on the surface, P on the surface, B in the gas phase, and this mechanism. Here, options are important. By looking at the options, you have to finalize the mechanism. Spend some time and understand. Product also adsorbs is given in the question. Product is also on the surface. Product absorbing means. Option B, if you derive, we will not get the option B. If you derive this rate, just we have derived no KPA PB by 1 plus KAPA plus KPPB. So is everybody done till now? So this is what is chapter 5. So we have done chapter 5. So what we have studied is, we have studied, let's say, how catalytic reactions occur. Let's say, what are the resistances? What are the resistances? Next thing is, let's say, diffusion control. Then we have derived concentration profile. Then we have done, let's say, concept of delay modulus. Then what we have done is, let's say, effectiveness factor. So these are the things that we have done, chapter 5. So can you take, let's say, 2-3 minutes time and revise the entire chapter 5? So we'll go to next chapter, or let's say, now there are 3 topics. They are not chapters basically. One is non-isothermal reactors. They are not chapters, remember. Numericals, whatever you have solved, let's say 4 or 5 problems. I think we have solved 5-6 problems. These are the 5-6 problems in the chapter 5. Chapter 5 is mostly theory. Non-isothermal reactors. Next topic. So this will be last topic in the CRE as per, let's say, original syllabus, but there are 2 new topics added. That is the part. What is non-is? This is not a chapter basically. Remember this. This is not a chapter. Somebody is asking to show the previous board. Non-isothermal reactors is not a chapter. That is a one topic. That is what you read in CRE 11th pillars, temperature and pressure effects, or let's say temperature effects. So what do you do here is, how to write energy balance is what you learn. How to write energy balance is what you will learn here. How to write the energy balance on, let's say, reactors. How to write the energy balance. So basically, how do you write the energy balance? Suppose if you are talking about adiabatic reactors. How do you write the energy balance for adiabatic? What is meant by adiabatic reactors? No heat addition, or let's say no heat loss is what is meant by adiabaticity. Clear? No heat addition, no heat loss is what is meant by adiabatic reactors. How do you write the balance is enthalpy in is equal to enthalpy out plus enthalpy which is released in the, or let's say gained in the reaction. This is how you write the energy balance. What is enthalpy into the system? What is enthalpy out of the system is equal to enthalpy of the reaction. How do you write enthalpy in? There are multiple ways. Suppose if you know the mass flow rate, you can write MCP into delta T. is what is enthalpy in. What is enthalpy out? mCp into delta T. What is enthalpy released in the reaction? Delta HR, heat of reaction multiplied by how many moles, let's say, reacted. How many moles reacted and how many moles? What is delta HR is how much energy released per mole, no? Then moles reacted is what is enthalpy. So this mCp delta T depends. Suppose depends upon the Cp unit. Cp units is based on kg. Then M will be, if Cp is based on kg, then M will be kg. Suppose if Cp is based on moles, then M will be moles. So basically you don't have, let's say, particular perfect equation here. So you have to read the question carefully, and based on the question you should write or let's say solve the problem. Clear? It's not like I'm removing the boards. It is actually sometimes display is gone. So I'm not moving to the next board. Can you start writing balances for non-adiabatic reactors? Can you start writing balances for, let's say, non-adiabatic reactors? So in non-adiabatic reactors, you will have two options: heat addition, heat removal. Is everybody done with this board? So can you start writing balances for, let's say, non-adiabatic reactors? Can you write balance for a non-adiabatic reactors? So non-adiabatic, you have two cases. One is heat addition. Suppose if you are adding heat externally, where do you do this kind of reactors? Is when there is a heat, let's say, endothermic reactions taking place. Endothermic reactions taking place, you have to add the heat. How do you write the balance? Is enthalpy in is equal to enthalpy out plus enthalpy released in the reaction. Heat addition, let's say you are adding Q. Should you add Q to the inlet or outlet? Should you add Q to the inlet or outlet? Inlet, because inlet is something which is coming into the system. This is enthalpy coming into the system plus heat that you have added. is equal to enthalpy out plus enthalpy of the reaction. Now heat removal. Where do you find this kind of applications? Is exothermic reactions. Let's say I'm removing same heat. Let's say methanol is one of the examples. So what is enthalpy out plus Q plus enthalpy of the reaction? So when you are adding Q, you are adding here. When you are removing heat, you are adding. But how do you write this enthalpies are? Based on given data in the question. Based on given data in the question. So what is the objective of this chapter is how do you practice energy balance or how do you write the energy balance? So this is not a chapter, this is a small topic. Clear? So let's solve one problem. So write this problem. The liquid phase reaction A gives P. The liquid phase reaction A gives P is conducted in an adiabatic plug flow reactor. In an adiabatic plug flow reactor. Given data. CA naught is equal to 4 kilomole per meter cube. Density 1200 kg per meter cube. Cp 2000 joule per kg Kelvin. Heat of reaction minus 120 kilojoule per mole. If the exit temperature is 800 degrees centigrade at 100% conversion, then the inlet temperature is. One given data is all these physical properties are not a function of temperature or not a function of composition. So another given data is all these physical properties are not a function of temperature, not a function of composition. Clear? So this is the given data. This is a adiabatic reactor. So take and write some energy balance. Somebody got 600 degrees centigrade. So the answer should be less than 800 because since it is an exothermic reaction, so it is an adiabatic reaction, so outlet temperature will always be less than inlet temperature. The answer will be same whether it is PFR or CSTR. Because you are writing the energy balance as what is in, what is out, what is released in the reaction. So it doesn't matter. (600° is correct answer. Now let's solve the problem. So what is flow rate given? So since there is no flow rate, so what I will take as basis as, let's say 1 kg per hour of, or let's say 100 kg per hour of, or you can take 1 kg also, no issue. 1 kg per hour of feed. Clear? So then what is the balance is enthalpy in is equal to enthalpy out plus enthalpy released in the reaction. So or else for convenience sake we'll take, let's say 1000 kgs per hour of feed, so that we will get the round figures numbers wise. So what is the feed enthalpy? 1000 into Cp into what is some inlet temperature minus some reference temperature. You will always express MCP delta T. So what is MCP delta T? Is inlet. So if the inlet is 1000, outlet will also be 1000 kgs, no? So mass flow rate doesn't increase. 1000 into Cp into T out minus T reference plus heat of reaction is nothing but delta HR into number of moles of A reacted. So how do you write the balance? 1000 into 2000 into what is inlet is unknown, some reference temperature is equal to 1000 into what is Cp? 2000. Why you are using same Cp at the inlet and outlet? Because Cp is a function of temperature, no? Inlet temperature and outlet temperature are different. Why you are using same Cp? Because in the problem it is given that, let's say Cp is not a function of temperature. So what is given is Cp is not a function of temperature. So what is delta HR? What is the units that you have? Joule per, let's say, hour. Joule per hour. Joule per hour. What is delta HR here? Minus 120 into 10 power 3. This is joule per mole, no? Into how many moles of A reacted? How many moles of A reacted is nothing but FA naught into XA. What is FA naught is how many moles of A at the inlet. XA is conversion. So what is XA is 100%. What is FA naught? So how do you write FA naught? FA naught is inlet molar flow rate, no? So how do you get inlet molar flow rate? So 100 kg per hour of feed. So what is 100 kg per hour of feed has to be converted to how much meter cube per hour. So let's say 1000. 1000 divided by 1200. So what this gives is meter cube per hour. Now, for every meter cube, how many moles are there? 4000 moles per meter cube. Kilomole per meter cube, no, given data. So what is FA naught is 1000 divided by 1200 into 4000. Spend some time, understand the equations. Here, suppose if I change the question, the data will change, then concept remains same, but you need to understand how do you write the balance. So what is FA naught is? FA naught is meaning is mole per hour. No, FA naught is nothing but moles per hour. FA naught is nothing but moles per hour. How do you get moles per hour? What is your feed rate is 1000 kg per hour. 1000 kg per hour I converted to meter cube per hour. How do you convert? 1000 divided by 1200. What is 1200 density? No, so meter cube per hour. You got meter cube per hour. Meter cube multiplied by CA naught, which is moles per meter cube. So spend some time. So the questions, when you are solving the questions for the first time, you have to be extremely slow in understanding. The more time you spend on understanding the questions, the fastness will increase later on. So without taking the basis also you can solve, but basis is important. Next, what do we do is, I'll change this basis to, let's say, some number. We will see whether the answer will change or not. Ideally, answer should not change, no? So first understand, I'll explain one more time. Inlet flow rate is kg per hour, no? Kg per hour by kg per meter cube. Then what do you get is meter cube per hour, no? So I'll explain one more time. So there is no basis given. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the basis as 1000 kg per hour of heat. Then what is my inlet is 1000 into 2000, 1000 into 2000 into what is my inlet temperature delta T. 1000 into 2000 outlet minus T reference. But I'm using same Cp in the inlet and outlet because it is given in the question that Cp is not a function of temperature. Then what is my heat of reaction is delta HR. You should not put simply delta HR. What does delta HR tells you is, let's say delta HR value is minus 120 kilojoules per mole. So what does this mean? If 1 mole of air reacted, 120 joules of energy is released. Clear? 120 kilojoules of energy is released. But delta HR multiplied by how many number of moles of air reacted. How many number of moles of air reacted is how many moles of air coming into the reactor multiplied by what is its conversion. So how many moles of air entered into the reactor is 1000 divided by, so this calculation I explained, into XA is conversion. So we will get this answer. Now can somebody check if I change the basis to, let's say, 10,000 or let's say 10, simple 10, then what will be the answer? Then this will be replaced by 10, or let's say 100, or let's say just 1. Take it as 1. Then this is 1, this is 1, this is also 1. Then does your answer change? Answer doesn't depend on, let's say, m dot. Answer doesn't depend upon on m dot. Just hold a minute. I am giving another question. So your screen will disappear. So because I am reading another question. So write this problem. So everybody ready? Solve this problem. So for adiabatic reactors, basically basis doesn't matter for adiabatic reactors. Write this problem. An irreversible liquid phase reaction, A plus B gives P, A plus B gives P is carried out in an adiabatic mixed flow reactor. In an adiabatic mixed flow reactor, a feed containing 4 kilomoles per meter cube, of each A and B of each A and B enters the reactor 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 at 8 meter cube per hour. If the temperature of exit stream is 390 Kelvin for 100% conversion what is the feed temperature? What is the feed temperature? What is the feed temperature? Given data. Heat of reaction minus 50 kilojoule per mole. Heat of reaction minus 50 kilojoule per mole. Density 1000 kg per meter cube. Cp 2 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Cp 2 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. The above data does not depend upon composition and temperature. The above data does not depend upon temperature and composition. Heat of reaction. Maybe I think, give me 1 minute. What I will do is, I will share my screen for the question. Maybe you can. Can you read this question? Are you seeing this question? I am referring to 122 question. An irreversible, if somebody who has not noted this question, so you can read it from here. An irreversible liquid phase reaction A plus B gives P is carried out in an adiabatic mixture flow reactor. A feed containing 4 kilomole per meter cube of each A and B enters the reactor at 8 meter cube per hour. If the temperature of the exit stream is 390 Kelvin, then what is the maximum feed? Let's say at 100% conversion. So I have changed this question slightly here. If the exit temperature is 390 Kelvin for 100% conversion, then what is the feed temperature? Data and everything remains same. So I am taking out this question. A plus B gives P. Ca naught So what is feed temperature based on this question? These problems are slightly lengthy problems. It will take some time. Here basically this 8 meter cube per hour data is not required. Even without this problem also, without this also, you can solve this question. 8 meter cube per hour. Which is not relevant here. Which is given in the question. So you don't need to make a basis here. Even without that also, you can solve this problem. So somebody already got the answer, 290 Kelvin. So generally what I do is I'll take the gate questions and I'll sometimes modify the question so that when you are solving the real gate question, so you will get actually multiple questions. Or sometimes I will add some more complexity to the gate questions. Or sometimes I will frame some more questions based on the given data. Suppose if the given gate question is there, I will add some more questions to the data. So 290 Kelvin. So how do you write the balance here? Since 8 meter cube is there, I am not going to take the basis 8 meter cube, which corresponds to what is the kg for flow rate? 8000 kg per hour. So enthalpy in is equal to enthalpy out plus enthalpy of reaction. What is enthalpy in? 8000 into, let's say, 2000. This is 2 kg, no? If you convert, this is 2000 joule per kg Kelvin. So 2000 into, let's say, T inlet minus T reference, which is equal to 8000 into 2000 into to T out minus T reference, which is plus delta HR. What is delta HR? Minus 50 into 10 Q, which is joule per mole, into FA naught into XC. But what is FA naught? 8 meter cube per hour into, now this is a 2 reactor. Should you write 1 reactor? This heat of reaction is whatever is given, which is with respect to A or B. It doesn't matter because moles of A reactor, moles of B reactor will be same. So here you can write with respect to only one of the reactant. You don't need to write for both, because if A reacted means B automatically gets reacted, no? So 4000 mole per meter. This is what is FA naught. What is XA is 100%. So what is the answer that you are getting? You don't need to add concentration of A and B here, because if A reacts means automatically B reacts, no? So what is the T inlet that you are getting is 290 Kelvin. See, whatever the problems that we have solved is CP based on kgs. Suppose if CP is based on moles, then it will be different. So tomorrow we will solve some of the problems CP based on moles and some let's say non-adiabatic reactors. T reference will cancel on both sides. Some reference temperature. See, I'm solving completely. No, what is left? What is left to you for solving? Just substitute 390 here and solve this mass. No. So what next? What is there to solve? I put given FA naught. XA is also given. So your T outlet is 390. Then you solve this mass only. No. Delta H negative means it is heat releasing. Suppose if the reaction is A plus 2B gives R. Suppose if the reaction is A plus 2B gives P. Then he has to mention here whether it is with respect to A or B. Because 1 mole of A reacted doesn't mean that 1 mole of B reacted. 1 mole of A reacted means 2 moles of B reacted. Then in the gate question itself, he will mention whether it is with respect to A or B. Accordingly, we'll write here. If it given A, then it is FA naught into XA. If it is B, FB naught into XB. Clear? If it is A plus 2B gives B, same problem. Then this problem is not applicable because he has not mentioned mole of A or B. Because if you see 1 mole of A reacted means 1 mole of B reacted automatically. So there is no, let's say, moles of A reactor, moles of B reactor will be same here. Whereas if you take A plus 2B gives P, moles of A reacted is half of moles of B reacted. Without V means you can solve without V. No, this is not required. I will take 10 meter cube. Then also your answer will be same. This will be 10,000. This will be 10,000. This will be 10 meter cube per hour. So the 8,000 is cancelling on both sides. This 8 number. That is what we have given in the last problem also. This is independent of inlet flow rate. So we'll stop here. and we will take doubts. If we have any doubts, we'll take doubts. Somebody's question is, in the derivation of kinetics, why we are taking partial? We can take partial pressure, we can take concentration, doesn't matter. No, concentration is equal to partial pressure. Generally, the notation is for gases, we'll take partial pressure. Yes, yes. If A plus 2B gives, we are passing with the concept of FA naught into X by 2 or FP naught. If dP decreases, then Thiele modulus increases. So the rate decreases, hence conversion decreases, correct. Provided if you are in strong pore diffusion resistance region. If you are in weak pore diffusion region, then it is, whether you increase dP also doesn't have any effect up to you reach the 5.4. Suppose right now my dP is 1, my phi is 0.1. If I increase my dP to 4 times, my phi will go to 0.4. Till that time there is no effect. But once you cross 0.4 and if you are moving towards 4, then if you increase dP, then your rate keeps on decreases. Got it? Any other doubts? So I'm closing the session. So no doubts I'm getting.